Hi everyone, this is my week one introduction to Action Research Project. My name is Madison Milan. I am a second grade teacher at Friendship Elementary School, which is in the Southern York County School District. I graduated from Millersville University in 2016 with my undergraduate in early childhood education and in special education. I am currently in my final course of my master's program, which is in curriculum instruction with a concentration of STEM. A little bit about me. I was recently married back in November. I am a fur mom to a chocolate lab bear. There he is. I am a Philadelphia Eagle fan. I love to hike and be outdoors. And in my free time, I love to bake. It's not the best for my body, but I love to bake. So, when looking at action research, which of these stages do you feel you will have the most difficulty with? And because this year is so different with COVID and having a different school schedule, normally my main concern would be deciding a topic, pinpointing something. I tend to fluctuate back and forth when it comes to research about what I want to stick with. So usually that's what I would say, but because of what is going on in the world and the so many changes that are happening, the part that I think that might be the most difficult is the actual research project. The actual research process. Just because my school is currently in a hybrid model, so I have half of my students Mondays and Tuesdays, the other half of my students Thursdays and Fridays, and then when they're not with me, they are learning online through a online learning platform curriculum. So just finding the ways to actually implement this research process and program into my actual teaching every day while making sure I am, following the guidelines that I have been given for this school year. But something from the book that I really enjoyed that was this quote that was, "Make action research a part of daily teaching practices," and kind of how he described to plan, implement, and evaluate is something that we do every single day as teachers. So he made it sound as if action research is really not that far-fetched of an idea. It's actually able to be implemented in your everyday instruction. But if I were to think about actual obstacles, so obstacles that I see with this approach, and it is time. There are so many requirements for teachers, so many extra things that we're always required to do. So my biggest concern is the time. Where does this fit in? How do I incorporate these lessons? How do I incorporate these strategies? And just making sure that I'm hitting the curriculum and the standards, using the programs that I am required to use, while also being able to implement the things that I want to implement, like this sort of research. So the biggest obstacle for me would be time. So stories from the field. The story that resonated most with me was about Rebecca, and it resonated with me the most because she was also a primary teacher. I teach second grade. I believe she was third and fourth, and she has ESL students. I know that her building had a higher percentage of ESL students, but my building in my district houses all of them, so we don't have nearly as much. But I still am really familiar with having ESL students in my classroom. My building is also a Title I building, so I'm familiar with that language that she was sharing about her idea, and I really loved that they had a parent involvement with their research project. That is something that our school is heavily focused on, is how can we always involve our families at home. So I really loved that idea and think that would be something amazing to add and incorporate into my own research project if possible. But this is a quote from the other story from the field, and I really enjoyed it, so that's why I added it in here. And it says, "As a tool to help teachers ask questions about their everyday work, action research promised something a little different, a chance to study my own practices and the proficiencies of my students with an eye toward what worked and what didn't." That was from Julia Nora. And I really enjoyed that because so often we look at research and action research as being something tedious to do and something extra to do. But if it could be an opportunity for us to look at ourselves and make sure that we're giving our students the best practices, making sure that we are giving the students the best instruction possible, it makes it all really worthwhile. And any concerns that I have with doing my own action research project in my class would honestly just be that since my school is in this new hybrid model and it's we are currently living, as everyone knows, in a ever-changing world, and any minute we could go fully digital. And in that case, we're using an online platform that's already a curriculum has been decided for us, and the students work at their pace. So my biggest concern is, how do I implement this research while using something that's already there and something that I'm required to use, like a program, and conducting research alongside of it. So hopefully that is something that we can work through and that we can figure out together. Thank you so much.